next section formula. Okay, so section formula நம்ம 2D க்கு படிச்சிருக்கோம். Okay, for example, if you have 2 points A and B with vertices x1, y1 and x2, y2. Okay, so if this is split by the point in the ratio m is to n, so the point என்ன இருக்கும்? இப்போ P வந்து x, y அப்படின்னா we'll have the coordinate of x, y to be m x1 plus m x2 divided by m plus n, m y1 plus n y2 divided by m plus n. இது 2D க்கு பார்த்திருக்கோமா? இப்போ இதே மாதிரி 3D க்கு பார்க்க போறோம். But we have a point which splits the line internally and externally. So first அது பார்ப்போம். So when we have internally na, whatever we have learned till date is internally. So for example, you have a point A and it is B and this is 1, 1, 1. So 1 is to 1 is to 1 la irukku. So this will be in the ratio 2 is to 1. So if a point P inga irukuna, the P splits the line AB in the ratio 2 is to 1 internally. Internally na enna artham? The point P lies between A and B. A and B க்கு நடுவுல தான P இருக்கு. So the point P splits AB. So the point P divides AB in the ratio 2 is to 1. So this is internally. Externally na enna artham? So externally na, so I take a line, I'll have a similar partition. So in that I'll have P. Okay, so the point P is now here. I have A and B. Okay, so this is of the ratio 1 is to 1 is to 1. இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல point P lies between A and B. But இந்த இடத்துல point P does not lie between A and B. But point P A B எப்படி divide பண்ணுது? So here you go from A to P, correct? So you go from A to P, then P to B. So அதே தான் இங்கேயும் பண்ணணும். You have to go from A to P and then you have to travel back from P to B. So this is the difference between internally and externally. Okay, இந்த தியரியை மட்டும் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. எப்படி வந்ததுன்னு தெரியணும் இல்லையா? சும்மா மனப்பாடம் பண்ணக்கூடாது. So you have A to P and P to A. A to P and P to A. So A to P is the ratio 2. P to B is the ratio 1. So similarly, இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல A to P என்ன ஆகுது? It will be 2 and this will again be 1, 2, 3. So the ratio will be P to B என்ன இருக்கு? 3 இருக்கு. So here P divides AB. Here it divides internally. இல்லையா? It divides AB internally. Here it divides AB externally in the ratio 1, 2. So 2 is to 3. Correct? It will be 1, 2, 3. It divides in the ratio 2 is to 3. So you understood the difference between internally and externally. Internally na, the point P வந்து has to be between A and B. So இந்த இடத்துல ஒரே directionல போறோம். We are going to the right. So அப்போ A to P will be 2, is to P to B will be 1. But இந்த இடத்துல you have a sign change. Okay. So when you go from A to P, leftல travel பண்றோம். So it will be minus 2. And when you are traveling from P to B, it will be positive. So it will be 3. Okay, நம்மளோட sign convention தானே. So leftல போறத I can take it as positive 2 and rightல போறத I can take it as negative 3. Okay, so this is the difference in the formula that you have. So இப்போ 3D க்கு என்ன formula, 2D க்கு என்ன formula பார்த்தோம்? இந்த formula பார்த்தோம். இப்போ 3D க்கு என்ன பார்க்க போறோம்? For 3D, when it divides internally. So what will be my formula? The coordinates x, y and z will be mx2 plus, okay, mx2 plus n x1 divided by m plus n, m y2 plus n y1 divided by m plus n. You have z, so you have m z2 plus n z1 divided by m plus n. So this will be your coordinates when it is divided internally. இப்போ externally na எப்படி இருக்கும்? You see that when m is positive, n is negative, correct? So இந்த formulaல you will have negative n. So what will be your formula? So x, y, z will be mx2 minus n x1. n ஓட value negative ஆயிடும். Divided by m minus n, m y2 minus n y1 divided by m minus n. And my third coordinate will be n க்கு minus n போட்டா I'll have m z2 minus n z1 divided by m minus n. So this is the difference in the formula between internally and externally. இது வந்து externally. Okay. So this formula is for externally. So the only difference is in the இடத்துல m, n are both positive. In the இடத்துல n is negative. Okay, so that's why you have a minus. Okay, so this is the difference between the formulas. Internally na we go in one direction. Externally na we go in one direction and then we move in the opposite direction. So one direction positive na another direction negative. So this is your formula for 2D and this is your formula for 3D. So in the formula da use panna porom. Internally na mx2 nx1 m plus n. Externally na mx2 minus nx1 divided by m minus n. Okay, you have another section formula. Iduve section formula da, but you have another general one, which is when you take the ratio m divided by n to be k. Correct? Ipo indha edathila basically ratio enna? The ratio is m is to n. Here the ratio is m is to minus n. So basically the ratio m is to n, I am going to take it as k. So what will be your final coordinates? Internally, so I'll have the whole equation n ala divide panna, I'll have m divided by n plus 1 x1. So basically I'll have k x2 plus x1 divided by k plus 1, comma k y2 plus y1 divided by k plus 1 and k z2 plus z1 divided by k plus 1. Purida, when I take k to be m divided by n, so this particular formula changes into this formula. Okay, basically in the numerator and denominator n ala divide panna enna agum? You'll have m divided by n x2 plus x1 divided by m divided by n plus 1. So m divided by n ku badala you're writing k. Okay, so this will be your formula. So we'll use all these formulas to solve the examples and exercise questions. Okay, so remember in the formula, idu vandu general formula k vechu, this will be with m and n internally, this is with m and n externally. Okay, remember these three formulas. The question is, you have a point which, let me take it as P with coordinates x, y and z. This point P divides the line segment AB in the ratio 2:3. Okay, so you have to find the coordinates in which it divides internally and externally. Okay, so onna pannalam. First internally. So what is the formula? The coordinates of x, y and z is mx2 plus nx1 divided by m plus n. It is all positive, comma my2 plus ny1 divided by m plus n, comma mz2 plus mz1 divided by m plus n. So value substitute panna, what will I have? M value enna? This is my m is 2n. So my m value is 2, my n value is 3. So x2, x1, let me mark them. x1, y1, z1, x2, y2, z2. Okay, so m x2, which will be 2 times x2 is 3 plus 3 times x1 and 1 divided by m plus n, which is 2 plus 3, comma m y2, so it will be 2 times 4 plus 3 times y1 and minus 2 divided by m plus n, which is 2 plus 3, comma m z2, 2 times minus 5 plus 3 times, sorry, this is n, 3 times 3 divided by 2 plus 3. So answer enna varum? I'll have 3 2s are 6 plus 3 1s are 3 divided by 3 plus 2 is 5, comma 4 2s are 8, 3 2s are minus 6 divided by 5, comma minus 10 plus 9 divided by 5. Okay, so what will be my coordinates? 6 plus 3, 9, 9 divided by 5, comma 8 minus 6 is 2, so 2 divided by 5, comma minus 10 plus 9, so it will be minus 1 divided by 5. So these are my coordinates when it is divided internally. Externally na eppadi irukum? I'll only have a minus sign. So externally na, in the formula I'll have minus nu irukum. So what will be? So the first coordinate will be m minus 3 into 1 divided by 2 minus 3, comma இப்போ இது எப்படி இருக்கும்? 2 times 4 minus 3 into minus 2 divided by 2 minus 3, comma this will be 2 times minus 5 minus 3 into 3 divided by 2 minus 3. Okay, where minus போட வேண்டியதான். Wherever you have a plus, I have to write with minus because for externally the formula is minus n. mx2 minus nx1 divided by m plus n. So, this solve panna enna varum? I'll have 3 2s are, so it will be 6 minus 3 divided by 2 minus 3 is minus 1, comma 4 2s are 8, 3 2s are 6 plus 6. So, 8 plus 6 divided by minus 1, minus 10 minus 9. So, it will be minus 10 minus 9 divided by minus 1. So, what will be my coordinates? 6 minus 3 is 3, 3 divided by minus 1, minus 3. 8 plus 6, 14, 14 by 1 is minus 14. Minus 10, minus 9, minus 19 by minus 1 is plus 19. Okay, so this will be my coordinates when it is divided externally. Okay.